Hey, what's going on, fam?
Hey.
Happy Tuesday. What's happening? My name is Jamel.
Hey everybody, I'm Lakeisha. I ain't even know we was on yet. Somebody usually give me a cue that we're live, but I guess
What's
yeah.
up?
So, thank y'all for joining us for another conversation. As always, as you're getting on, make sure you like, comment, and share, and let somebody know PB is on now. We are in the building, y'all, right here, right now, 7 p.m. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all had a good day. It was raining a lot where we were at. I don't know where you at, but yeah, it was a little dreary today. But
We are alive.
we are.
And that's what matters. Welcome to all of you watching us on Facebook. You are watching currently on a Progressively Becoming Studios platform. So good evening to all of you guys. Big shout out to our YouTube community. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do so right after this video. Head on over to YouTube, put in Progressively Becoming Studios in the search field. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be notified every time that we come live, as well as those of you that are watching us on our website at this moment, www.progressivelybecoming.com. We pray all is well with you in the neighborhood.
Hey, www.com.
Inside joke.
Yes.
But hopefully you would hear it one day live, where that joke originates from the originator itself,
Exactly.
Noah Butler.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, we thank y'all for joining us. It's gonna be another good conversation tonight. So just to reiterate, if you missed us last week, just the update on how PB is gonna look going forward. So we're gonna be on every first and last Tuesdays of the month. Every first Tuesday you will see Jamel and myself. And on our last Tuesdays of the month, we have our new exciting show coming, and it is with Ty and Cass Butler. They will be hosting the takeover. So I know y'all excited. They did a great job when they was covering for us, and we want to see more of them. So we want to see them and see what they have to talk about. So every last Tuesday will be Ty and Cass right here on PB Studios.
I am so excited about what they are going to share. And just so that you know, because some of you may be wondering, if not, we'll tell you anyway. Their new show is not an extension of this, right? So they will come in their own way. The conversations would be different. The topics would be different. The layout will be different. The format will be different. They will come in their own way. It is completely independent. I'm excited about the conversation that they're going to have with you guys. It is all centered around progressively becoming.
Right.
We want you to become progressively the individuals that God has so intended for you to become. Would you put that in the comments? I have to become. I have to become. Become. And we last year we did a whole year. I think we was I think 2023 was a year filled of what that word meant. Or 2022. 2022. Yeah. We endeavored into what progressively becoming was. It all originated from a car ride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but we talked about becoming better, becoming evolved, becoming clearer, becoming an overcomer, becoming mature, more mature, becoming innovative, becoming necessary, and grounded. Yes, I couldn't remember the G. Becoming grounded. So that was a great series, and if y'all missed it, it's still available. Y'all can go check it out. We have some birthdays. I do gotta shout out my sister Latoya. Her birthday was yesterday.
Woo, big sis.
And my sister Cassandra, her birthday is today. So
that's it.
Happy birthday to y'all. We love y'all. Keep living. Many more.
And
to come.
any of you that also have birthdays in March, shout out to you.
Y'all.
Bishop Watts always said, if you don't want to live old, die young.
I know that's right.
And so I think we are all of the mindset that we want to live and keep living. I see y'all in the comment. Tabitha Nelson, I have to become. Lady Goodson, I have to become. Georgia Carter, I have to become. On these Bullock, I have to become. I have. See, black people say half.
We say half.
Yeah.
We have to.
Half ain't in the dictionary.
We have to.
I have to.
It's have to.
Yeah. Why is that?
That's how we talk. We have to. We make it as one,
It's I have to become.
But we say I have to.
I have. I-H-A-F. I have to.
It's H-A-F-T-A.
T-A. Have to.
Have to.
I have to become. I have to become. Lord have mercy.
Y'all put that shit. I have to.
I have to. H-A-F-T-A. Have to. Oh God, listen fam, today is Super Tuesday. In 16 states at this very moment, people are standing on lines. They are going into schools and community centers as they are casting their vote for who their party's candidate should be that will represent them during the general election in November. Democrats are voting for Democrats, Republicans are voting for Republicans, and they are casting their vote as to who they would like to represent them in the general election. There are so many key discussions that's on the agenda, from abortion, immigration, which is a big thing. Abortion, immigration, education, democracy, the economy, are just some of those issues. So if you are in one of those 16 states, I believe North Carolina is one of them. If you are in one of those 16 states, if you have not went out to vote, cut this off and go vote. No, better yet, just bring us with you to the booth.
I thought so they got time. They can watch us and go vote.
No, take us to the booth. But go cast your vote. It's pretty much a landslide for Biden, as he's the only Democrat. It's others on the ballot, but I mean, is no names. And Nikki Haley is hanging in there between Nikki. Donald Trump. I think it's over for Nikki tonight.
Look, I got issues with both the both candidates.
Yeah.
The Democratic candidate and the Republican candidate. Y'all both go somewhere and sit down.
No, both of them need to take a nap.
Just go and have a seat somewhere.
Joe needs to sleep, and Donald needs to go to sleep as well. Now, just go on and take a nap.
Go. Like, though, anybody out there watching that is in the political arena and you are qualified, come on, get up and make yourself known so we can have some better candidate.
Yeah, so somebody has to step up, because I'll say this, right? Joe ain't the answer. Trump ain't the answer. All right. And so when we go to the polls in November, we will more than likely be stuck between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And most people would just vote their party.
Yes, but make sure you vote.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, just vote. Just vote. So definitely just vote.
Just vote. So what are some of your key issues? Like, what do you think are some of the issues that are prevalent? So for me, a big one is the economy and immigration.
I was gonna say immigration for sure with me.
What do you guys think? Put in the comments.
Sister Carter said, "Shut the border up." And don't get me wrong, I'm all for. And remember, our thoughts is our thoughts, and our views is not for you to think like us or us to put words. This is how we feel, and that's that. Just want to throw out that disclaimer. But me personally, I don't have a problem with whoever comes over here. But just come over like the right way. Come over legally. And I just got a problem with, and I'm gonna just say, people are coming over here and getting more help from the state than the people that's here that need help. That I have a problem with that. You getting all these subsidies, and you getting all this money, and food stamps and all that stuff coming over here as an immigrant, and people that live here can't get no daggone help. I got a problem with that. Yeah. And you done nothing to get it. You just came over from the border. It just boggles me. It just boggles me. And people that we have so much homelessness, but they're coming in droves, and you're being provided with shelter, food, money, and it's like the people that live here can't get squat.
Yeah, I read an article.
You can't get food there because you make $1 over the budget. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I read an article a couple of weeks ago in how New York, they voted, and I don't know if it's still happening, right? But they voted that they would start giving food cards to families that are coming over, right? And each card, I think, would be valued, I believe it was like $800, but they would be giving food cards to families so that they can get food and it's a tough one, because as Christians we want to have a heart of compassion,
and we do,
right? Yet at the same time,
we feel. That's the thing is, it's like we could be compassionate, and I do have compassion for it, but at the same time, like, I'm compassionate for the people that's struggling, that's already here, and that's citizen, and you can't get no help. I mean, that's the part I have a problem with.
I think of how difficult it is for the retired service members to get the help that they need on a consistent basis. And it appears as if the individuals that's coming across the border illegally are getting first dibs at assistance and help. And again, it's not to say that there isn't help now that people can access. And again, some of them just don't access it. Like, there's shelters that some people just don't want to go to. But again, it looks bad. And I think a lot of the states are now, the states that wanted their cities to be sanctuary cities are now kind of backtracking and saying, hey, you know something, like, this is getting out of control. Yeah.
But like, food is expensive. Like, let's not get it twisted. Yeah. Food now is expensive. Absolutely. You could go into the store and shop, spend $100 easy, and you ain't got one meat to first. No meat. None. Yes. And it's just like, there's people out there that do work, and they do have to provide for their family, and unfortunately what they make and stuff isn't enough. And it's like, I want to go and I need to just get a little help. Can I get a little extra food stamps, a little help? No, because you make 2 cents over the amount for your family, and then they come over, and it's all, here you go, and you get a card, and you get a card, and you get a card. What about the people down there? It's not right. It's just not right.
I remember growing up, I found a $5 food stamp bill on my way to school one day. It was a $5 food stamp. I think the $5 bills was like orange. I think it was orange or brown. One of them, I don't know. Y'all know. It was like a $5 like a $5 food stamp bill or whatever. And I went to the store, and I was so embarrassed, because I'm like, people go to see me using food stamps and all that, So I remember boiling it up, and I bought I think a Hero, a sandwich, for those of you that's not in New York. I bought a sandwich, and I boiled it up, and I gave it to the guy, because I was so embarrassed to use colored money, right? And
food stamp things was terrible.
It was terrible.
It looked so bad. But anyway,
right? But I'm looking at it now. God has blessed us tremendously. I am so grateful for that. But when we go to the supermarket, it's just like, can a brother get a $5 food?
Can I get an Epic card?
Can I get a?
I want an Epic.
It's just,
can I get an Epic card? That's what I'm saying.
But I immigration is one of those things that has definitely need to be corrected, and hopefully whoever comes in office will be able to correct about it. Trump said he's shutting it down, and it will be it will be a massive deportation. That's what he says. He's shutting the border down. It's going to be a massive deportation. And so we'll see. So again, if you haven't went out and vote, go ahead and do so. You still got time before your polls open.
And backtracking, I agree with Avarice. He said should there be an age limit on being a politician? And Kamisha said there should be.
Yeah, you think so?
The reason, look at the current president.
Well, it's not his age; it's his mental capacity. No, you can't say that because I know some older,
Well, that's
sharp
true. That's
people
true.
that are
That is
sharp.
True. That is true.
Yeah, so I don't think it should be an age limit. I think it should be a mental capacity. But again, how do you measure mental capacity?
I mean, that's true.
But you can clearly see something up with Joe.
Can we just get some younger people in office? That's all.
You
I'm
can
saying.
clearly
like,
see.
Our presidents, they just be so.
There is an issue.
I think except for Obama and Clinton, they were pretty young when they came in. Poor thing, they looked so old when they left out though.
Obama said, "I'm getting out of here."
He was out of here. Y'all ain't gonna try to kill. Y'all ain't trying to kill me. I'm leaving.
Obama said, "I'm getting out of the spotlight." We ain't seen Obama in 4 years. I'm saying we ain't seen Obama in 4 years.
He's living his best life.
He is living his life. All right, so family, listen. So as we was talking about Super Tuesday and talking about core beliefs and how people are going to the polls today to vote because they believe in something. They believe in immigration. They believe in democracy. They believe that everybody should have their fair share of the slice of the American pie, whatever you think that is. But so as we was talking about that today, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments.
If you're not a people, you should.
What
ADO do you know is sharp enough to run? There are older individuals that I think are extremely sharp to run countries and who? I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I can think of some older individuals that's like, you know something? I think they can do this. And before tonight is out, I'm gonna give y'all some names.
He's saying to run a whole country. Look, as you age, you know you ain't as sharp as.
I know some young people that ain't sharp.
Hello. What time I forget?
So we was thinking about today and about core, about being resolved and what you stand for, immigration, whatever that is, right? And so we figure, how does Super Tuesday tie into progressively becoming? One of the many reasons people, we believe, struggle with actively becoming the persons that God intended for them to become is because they lack resolution. When you are resolved, you are determined. And we have made the decision on progressively becoming a platform. We have made the decision with who we are becoming. We have determined that we will become everything that God has intended for us to become. Kamisha has a name. Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, the Queen. Yeah. Yeah, the Queen.
She stayed a little too long.
The Queen stayed a little too long.
The Queen stayed a little too long.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that. Give me a see. You trying to take us down? You trying to take us down somewhere? We ain't gonna do it tonight.
Snoop Dogg for president. All right, Lydia.
But we have determined that we would become, and we make no apologies about it. Right. Can you put that in the comment? I make no apologies for becoming. Right. When you apologize, you are admitting
that
wrong.
You're wrong. That's
Absolutely,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with becoming.
Nothing.
And remember, becoming is becoming your true, authentic self. So you release the past weights and the facades that weigh you down, restrict you, and then mask your true self. And a lot of times that can be a difficult task for people.
Absolutely.
Because some people just don't know who they are. You've been faking the funk so long that you conform to the person that you're not.
Absolutely.
And then you don't know who you are. There's plenty of times when I know people that years come down the line and they don't know who, like, you look at yourself in the mirror like, well, who am I? What do I want? What do I aspire to be? Because you've been doing this song and dance so long, you've lost yourself in your true identity.
Absolutely. And there are so many obstacles that come up against us becoming. When you make the decision that you are going to actively become whomever God has intended for you to become, people will treat you differently when you start becoming. And you've got to know that's okay. Right? You will be called, oh yeah, they acting funny, or they think they better than me, or they think they all that. And that's okay because you're becoming. You will lose friends and relationships because you're becoming, and that's okay.
Then it begs the question: is
Yeah.
if you lose a friend, were they your friend in the first place?
I think so. Yeah, I because I believe
People in your life for seasons.
people in your life for season.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone,
Not
but the majority of people in your life for season.
I don't know. I just think if your true friend, you'll stick around with that because you're evolving into somebody, and if you understand that, and if you're true to that, then I don't see why you would lose that friend. That's just
Because you have some people, I believe, that like you the way you are, and when you become someone else, you become the person God intended for you to become. You may no longer have as much time, patience, and energy for them because God has kind of like put you in another mode of your life. Like I think we all have people that we clicked with in our younger years.
Oh yeah.
Like that like that's my God, that's my girl right there.
Right.
But where you are now,
right.
It just don't click no more.
I understand.
Because I'm not at that place any longer. Is that person still a friend? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can rely on that person. You can trust in that person. Perhaps, I don't know, right? But you've moved on. You've moved on. Perhaps not from them, but perhaps from just where they were. Yeah.
Or you could have just moved on from the type of relationship. The relationship could just have taken on a different persona at that point.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Even if you were friends for 15 or 20 years, they weren't really your friend. Did you just outgrow each other? Yeah. I mean, I've had friends when I was younger that said, "Hey, no, that's my friend right there." No, if and the but. Are they my friend now? No. And that's Kimisha said, we may have just outgrew each other. We may be in different spaces. You want your way, I want my way, right? But they was a friend back then, but they are not friends now. I firmly believe that most of the, and y'all may disagree with me, but most of the relationships in your life, most, meaning more than not, most of the relationships in your life are seasonal. And to be willing to go along with the adjustment of going from season to season to season to season. When you enter fall, some people will fall off.
Yeah.
Some people will come in. Every time God wants to move you into another space, another dimension, into another realm, it will come with additions and subtractions. And you've got to be willing to recognize this. And most relationships in your life are seasonal.
And I think that when you be trying, say, to continue in a relationship or try to be friends the way that it was, and it don't, then that just kind of like sets you back, because you're looking for that relationship to be the way it was, or you're looking for that relationship to continue when I guess it's not supposed to.
It's not there anymore. And the worst thing that we can do is continue in something that should have died a while ago. It's no longer benefiting you. You love them. You thank God for the years that they gave you. But at this point of my life, I need to move, and so do you.
And I think well, it's difficult. I think it was difficult for me because I think we've all had that.
Yeah.
If you've been friends with someone for so long, and then for whatever reasons you look up and now the relationship is different, and you don't know how to deal with that. Like I had a friend like growing up, and we were like, that was my best friend, and it's like as we got older, like we grew apart, and then eventually we ended up coming back together, and I was looking for the relationship to like
pick up where it was,
right from where it left off, and it just never could get restarted that way. And I think we had a conversation, and you told me about people in your life seasonally, and it was difficult for me because I wanted the relationship to pick up like we left off. But eventually I got to that understanding, and to this day she's my friend. it's just our friendship just looks different. I may not talk to her all the time, but when I do, it's like that's my friend. So I get it, but it's hard to get there.
It's hard to get there.
Yeah.
And it's even hard to realize you are there.
Yeah.
Right? It was great then. It's not great now, or it's not beneficial for me, or it's not where God wants me. It's time to move on. Jesus did not even stay with his disciples their whole lives. Eventually, he moved on, and in his place, the relationship looked differently. Right? So Jesus was still present, but the way he presented himself to them was just different. Because most relationships in your life are seasonal.
And a lot of times we don't want to become, because it just, the loss sometimes is just too much. So you just stay. Yeah.
And that's okay. Right? But we have determined to become. And you have to begin to get ready for what yourself will look like going forward. Right? You got to prepare yourself for how you will look going forward. If you want to live the life that God has predetermined for you, you have got to become comfortable with other people being uncomfortable with that. I'm going to say it again. If you want to live a life that God has predetermined for you, you have got to get comfortable with other people being uncomfortable with how you are now. If you do not, right? If you do not become comfortable with that, you will develop a codependence on others and seek their validation, which is commonly called being a people pleaser.
And we did a whole conversation, or two maybe, on being a people pleaser.
And what is a people pleaser?
It's someone who cares a lot about what other people think, but if they like you or not, and you always want the approval of others when you have any approval in your actions.
Sure.
from anybody. Sure. You are a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Your enjoyment is pleasing folk. And if they're unpleased, then you're unhappy.
If they are unpleased, you're unhappy, and it would be at the detriment of you becoming. Now, you may ask some of you saying right now, dumb Tonys, they don't like people. No, we understand. We understand people.
I don't think they think that.
In their mind, they don't like people. No, we love people. We just understand. We just understand that God's voice is bigger than man's voice in our lives. That's it, right? And we've determined to become comfortable with other people being uncomfortable with who we are becoming. And you've got to live your life like that. Are you listening to us? Who you are becoming, who you are evolving into. Your thoughts are beginning to change. Your language is beginning to change. Your mind is beginning to view things differently. Your decisions are changing. Your choices are becoming more evolved. And people will not be comfortable with the person that you're becoming. And it's okay. Because most relationships in your life are seasonal.
Y'all know we like people. So don't listen to what you must have with that, because I don't believe that y'all think we don't like folks.
The Tabitha, that's it. That is maturity. It's recognizing that a tree goes through multiple stages in 1 year. One day it's bare, the next day it is full of leaves. And that tree still stands there. And you've got to stand where you are when you are with, and even when you are without. You've got to stand there when you are in transition, and when you have fully become. You've got to stand there planted. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that shall bring forth fruit, and watch this, and their season. Seasonal.
I mean, it does say everything is in seasons. Time for this, and time for that, time for this, time to die, time to laugh, time to mourn. So
absolutely.
But like I said, it's just difficult to get there in relationships. Yeah. Is that Jesus calling?
I don't know. That number looks very familiar.
So yeah, it's yeah.
The truth is, we all evolve, right? Who you are now should not be the person you were years ago, or perhaps even the person you were months ago, right? We all experience evolution. Can you put that in the comments? Evolution. We all experience evolution, right? And you have to determine that you will allow every experience that happens in your life to be used as a tool that God makes you become, right? What was one defining moment in your life that you see God's work, God's hand, that he was using to mature you and make you better? Was you resistant of it, or did you embrace it because of the change that it may result in?
Before we continue, I just want to say this one thing. If you are a people pleaser, stop giving the power of your feelings and reactions to others.
That's good.
That is just the one thing I want to say. Yeah. Stop giving that power over to others. But go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I think a life-defining moment for me. I mean, I had a few, but when I could think of one, if I had to be honest, it was like marrying you. Okay. Because it was like you are a minister, and then what that would entail for me, like the change that I would have to go through as a result of just being your wife. And at first, I was a little resistant to some of that because I felt that it was trying to change me. But I didn't realize that it was evolving me into being someone better, becoming someone better in different areas of my life that I didn't even know that I needed to be better in. So that was like, I could think of that as a life-defining moment for me.
Yeah. At some point, I think we all have to embrace our experiences, because God uses them for the benefit of evolution, right? Along with being resolved, I think one of the major issues that we are not determined to become, or one of the major reasons why we do not become, one of the major reasons perhaps you that's watching us have not embraced becoming what God wants you to be, I think is because we have not become resolved in what we believe in. You can never become without being firm in your beliefs and in your core values. You need to have a set of core values, because it's what you believe in. It's your core values that will assist you in becoming. Again, what you believe, your core values, your set of laws that you've governed for yourself, your core values assist you in becoming the person God wants you to become. And many of us don't become that person because we are not concrete and resolved in what we believe. We don't have core values, or if we have them, we don't live by our core values. Right. All of us need to have a set of core values that we live by, whether that's excerpts from scripture, right? I believe all of them should come out of the word of God, right? But you should have a written down set of commandments that in your language that you live by. It's called core values. Yeah.
And like Jamal said, core values are just fundamental beliefs of a person or, of an organization.
Yeah.
And these guiding principles dictate our behavior, and it can help us understand the difference between right and wrong. And like, for example, the core value for PB and TPO, the place of exchange, is excellent. And it is not our goal, but it is our standard.
Excellence is not the goal, it is the standard. Yeah.
So everything we do is surrounded around that.
Our core values help confine us. It gives us boundaries. It kind of core values mark the line out for us. It tells us what to do, what we shouldn't do, what we should get involved in, what should be better. Again, for us, excellence is not the goal. It is the standard. We've determined to do everything in excellence. That's a core value of this incorporation, right? So what are your core values? What are some of your core values?
I believe some of my core values, this ain't all of them, just some of them, is integrity, trust, being dependable, loyalty. To name, that's a few of them. Yeah, honesty.
Yeah.
But definitely, the integrity part. I want to, live a life of being integral.
Yeah.
When I don't want to go against that when it comes to things that I do in my life, and I strive to, live a life of integrity. And I think I'm very dependable. And when it comes to loyalty, automatic, like for me now, definitely loyalty to God. But just loyalty to those that I love and I care about. Like, I'm that ride or die person. Yeah. I got your back, your side. I'm there. I'm riding it out with you. That's the type of person I am. And trust is big for me. Those of you that know me know that is huge. And it's like, when I trust you, we good. But when we lose that trust, it's very hard for me to get back to it. Like, trust is difficult to regain.
Yeah, very difficult.
Especially when, like, I really, really trusted you. And now, and that's for me. Like, you can trust me. Like, if you come and you talk to me, in private, you can know that that's going to stay there.
Stays with you.
And I'm not going to, go and, oh, well, don't say nothing. You know how you got that person, well, don't say nothing. They told you not to say something, and you go to somebody else and be like, well, let me tell you something, but don't say nothing. And then they got a friend that say, oh, let me tell you, don't say nothing. And it's already said, it's out there. So, those are the things that's core values for me. Yeah. And I try to live by that. Yeah. What about you?
Do you have a set of written core values? If you don't, tonight, this week, write down what your core values are. Some of mine is discipline. You've heard that word before. Personal responsibility. If I'm wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. If I made an error, I'm going to say I made an error, right? I'm going to... It's difficult.
That's difficult for people in general.
It's difficult for people.
You don't like to be wrong.
We don't like to be wrong, right? But taking personal responsibility for your errors. Progressive, right? Mine's is loyalty, but in particularly, loyalty for me is loyalty to God above loyalty to men.
Oh,
that's something that I've learned. So even if I'm your ride or die, even if I'm that person for you, if God says do this, I have to do that.
Oh,
right? So my loyalty is to God. My loyalty to God will always be above loyalty to men. Because some of us, and we're moving, some of our loyalties, if we're honest, have hindered us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And all because you don't want to hear people say, oh, they ain't loyal. Right? And so we stay loyal, not realizing that our loyalty is hindering us and prohibiting us from being the persons that God wants us to. Loyalty is that tricky thing.
Yeah, because my thing is this, like, when it comes to that, I'm your ride or die, I'm with you and all that. But if God tell me to do something or go a different way or tell me to move some way, and if you don't understand that, I mean, I'm not gonna just stay loyal to you and ignore what God is telling me to do. No, but if you my ride or die, you gonna understand that, and we gonna ride it out together. That's the people that I'm loyal to, and then when I say that I'm your ride or die, you mine, and we know that if even if I don't understand it, if I don't agree with it, God's telling you to do it. Who the heck am I? all right, I got you. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody said like watch your loyalties. Like some of us now are loyal to people, things, and places that we feel a sense of connection to when God has called us out of it. And that's a really difficult place to be in because you don't want to be called disloyal.
Yeah.
Because most people look at loyalty as your obligation to them.
Right.
And that's not the proper definition of loyalty. It's not my obligation to you per se. It's my obligation to God. And however that looks for you, then so be it. Right? Yeah. Loyalty to things and people and places that God is calling you away from will have you not speak for truth when wrong is done.
Oh, that's right.
Right? Your loyalty for people and places and things that God has called you from will not allow you to walk in integrity and honesty in your life. Right? Again, be loyal to God above loyalty for men. And with that being said, we're going to give you 5 ways, and then we're going to move to hot topics. We'll give you 5 ways on how to build your core values. So some of you are like, I don't know what my core values is. How do I get started? We'll give you 5 quick ways on how to build your core values.
So number 1, you should they should guide and ground. So your values should serve as both the foundation for how you approach your work and relationships, and a North Star when you're confronting difficult decisions and circumstances. So it should guide you and ground you.
That's good.
Number 2, they should represent who you are or want to be, who you want to become at your best. Like goals, your values should be both ambitious and realistic. They should push you to create the culture that you aspire to while being honest about where you are.
That's good.
I think that's good. Like being honest about where you are.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in it.
Yeah.
Or embrace your experiences. Shame and awe, because God uses them for your benefit.
Absolutely. I
really believe that. He does. And they should set you apart. Your values, when lived out, should set you apart. That's number 3. Sorry. Number 4, they should be defined. Core values are just words on a page. It ain't no COVID. I got dust coming in my throat. Core values are just words on a page if you're not clear on what they mean for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we encourage you this week to develop your core values. Live by your core values, align yourself with your core values, and progressively become the person that God has called you to become. All right, fam, listen, let's get into hot topics. I am excited about this one. So 2 months ago, Cat Williams broke the internet.
Oh, yes, he did now.
With over 61 million views on an interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. Cat Williams went completely ham on the people. Following the Cat Williams interview, comedian Monique took to Club Shay Shay, and with over 13 million views in just 3 weeks and still growing, they both had some things that they wanted to say. We're going to show you a clip of Cat Williams and Monique, and then we'll come back and discuss this very spicy hot topic.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Shit. I kind of get this one there.
Right.
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me one more time.
Right.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah.
Oh, because
I was gonna ask you that.
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
no, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Cat because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script.
Kevin Hart.
How?
Now, you know when Cat Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, "You're like my mother. You're like my aunt. You're like my sister." Okay? Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, "I don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler." I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, "Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it." He said, "But I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do." Now, let me say that before we go any further because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, "Here you go." We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, "Brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top," because I don't ever want nobody to think
Feel like they
me
gave
and my
you-
husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, "I got you," I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, "I'll executive produce, I'll partner with you." I said, "Good shit, Kevin," because we're in a deal with Endemol, and we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world, right?
Correct.
And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, "Oh, this is incredible," because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, "We just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky." And Dave Becky said, "Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any."
2024 is clearly becoming the year of exposure.
That was more than spicy.
That was hot.
It was jalapeno.
Cat Williams and Monique caught everyone on the carpet. Social media broke with these interviews. I have a question for you, those watching. Why did Cat Williams and Monique spill the beans on practically everyone that they had any type of contact with? Why do you
Why y'all
think
think
they
they
would do
did
something
that?
like this?
Well, I mean, the quick answer going to be people going to say it's for publicity.
True.
You know, to promote them, you know, going on tour, their shows and things like that.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I think they just
Tired.
had enough.
They
And
tired
they
of
want
it.
to just let the cat out the bag and just air it all out.
Absolutely. I think so too. I think that Cat had reached a point where, and like you said, he's been blackballed for years, and he has.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's reached a point where he's like, you know something? I'm tired. I'm tired of the lies against me. It's time for me to speak my truth. And he went on to Club Shay Shay and completely spoke his truth. Whether it was true or not, it was his truth. And Monique, Monique notoriously always has some things to say.
Oh, yes.
But she won on Club Shay Shay to speak her truth. And I agree with you. I think they was just tired.
Yeah, and they have a forum now where they can get out whatever it is that they needed to say, because these has been years and years of things. Yeah. So I think now they have that platform with Club Shay Shay where they can just go on and just be raw and their honesty and their truth. They need to get that out. Yeah. Maybe it was therapy for them at some point, you know?
Truth is therapeutic.
You know, I think they probably feel a whole lot better that they got all that stuff off their chest. And yeah, like Lydia said, they figure they already blackballed, so might as well let it rip. Yeah, like, to them, maybe I have nothing else to lose.
True.
And I'm going to just get out what I need to get out so I can feel better. Sometimes I be wanting to do that. Mm-hmm. I want to get out what I need to get out so I can feel better. I mean, the truth, but anywho, this ain't about me. But, yeah, I think it also, like I said, main thing it probably was publicity for them. But I think at some point during that, it was therapeutic for them because these are things they've been holding on to for years. Yeah. And they needed to get that out.
How difficult is it to not defend a lie?
You need to be the one to answer that.
No, I'm just saying.
Look, y'all. What y'all?
How difficult is it to not defend what you know, they know, and everyone knows is a lie?
It's difficult because at the end of the day, you want people to know and believe believe you.
Why?
And not
Why?
Because that has a lot to do with who they think you are, your character, your respect. You know.
Okay, so is that people pleasing? Is that being a people pleaser? Does their opinions of you value so much to you that you have to defend the lie?
It's not about, I don't think it's, for me, it's not about what the opinion of me is. It's just, I want the truth out. This ain't it, and I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Okay.
And it's not about, because at the end of the day, even if I tell you the truth, you still may not believe it.
Correct.
But I need to get that out. Because it's about me feeling better about the situation. It ain't about you.
Okay, so this has more to do with you and not how they view you, and you want the record to be correct.
And it's also therapeutic for you to release and help you forgive. Mm-hmm. Because I need to get it out. Mm-hmm. I need to get it off of me. Mm-hmm. And whether or not you believe it or not, that's not my concern. Okay. The fact of the matter is I'm getting off what the truth is. Mm-hmm. And that's how that goes.
So Kat and Monique released what the truth was. There was so many rebuttals from Steve Harvey, from Ricky Smiley, from Kevin Hart, from so many individuals that kind of rebutted what Kat and Monique were saying separately. So their exposure, whatever truth they was trying to tell, apparently, again, they did not believe. When I say they, the people that rebutted what they were saying. Mm-hmm. So do you think it was Monique and Kat wanting to just get it off their chest?
But it was some people that said some of what they said was true.
Yeah.
I think it was. They need to get it off their chest.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Because they could have did that. They are comedians. They could have did that at a show. They could have did that, just, talking to anybody. But they needed it to be publicly out. This is what it is. and I'm letting it out. I'm letting it rip. I'm letting it go. And y'all may think I'm cuckoo. Y'all may think I'm crazy. So why not just go on with it?
Lydia said it's difficult, but I'm not going to keep defending myself. My business is my business, and yours, and mind yours, and I won't have nothing to defend. Sharon said, get it off, release. It is so difficult to not defend a lie. But I'm going to say this. It is the most rewarding feeling ever. To not defend a lie. The greatest person that ever showed this was Jesus. I'm telling you.
I know.
Right? Where when people said this about him, and even though it was true, right? But they said this and all this stuff about him, Jesus's reply was, well, you said it. You said it so. Right? And so I don't want all of us to think that we have to defend ourselves, because I know what you're saying. But from what I'm seeing, Cat Williams and Monique wanted their reputations to be salvaged in people's eyes. They wanted people to feel differently about them. And I think that's why most people defend lies against them. Because of they want their reputation to not be tarnished, and they will defend lies. Because at the core of all of us want to please people. But whether we say it or not, I think we all want to please people.
And I think the people that really know you or know you as a person should know that if a lie has been said, that it's a lie, and not go on with it. If they know you as a person, if I have a relationship with you, if I know you personally, and someone come and tell me something about you, and I know you, like, nah, that's not. I should know that that's not you, and I'm not gonna run with that. Yeah. That may be what you think, but I don't know that person like that.
I got you. Yeah.
So, in that, it is hard not to defend a lie, but I've learned, and I'm doing better.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm doing. And let me ask y'all: is it okay to call out foolery? Is it okay to call out foolery even if it has the potential to be at your downfall to you?
And this is a taboo. This is a taboo. Is it okay to call out foolery even when it may harm you? What do you got? I want to see y'all comments.
Somebody put something about silence. Oh yeah, Tabitha said it's a bad thing to lie on someone. Some people just deal with it by being silent. But seasons have changed because we have graded devils.
We have upgraded. Listen, sure enough. Woo. Yeah. So, is it okay to call out foolery? Is it okay to call out mess? Some of you may refer to as BS. However you want to label it. Is it okay to call it out even if it may be at your potential downfall? Even if it may hurt you? Do you think you should call it out? Even if it may harm your reputation, people may turn away from you. Is it okay to call it out? And should you call it out? And rather, would you? That's the question. Those of you that's watching, would you call out foolery? Even if it's going to be at your potential downfall. Chairman said the year of 2024, yes, it is the year of exposure. Absolutely. Call it out. Healed, be delivered, and be set free. even if it may hurt you. Even if it may harm you and so, even if you'll lose friendships and relationships from it, would you call out mess and foolery? Would you call out lies, even if it will harm you? And you'll be ostracized, and you'll be talked about. What? Tabitha says yes, in this season, you might be the one about to lose everything because of the lie. It's going to hurt you regardless. Yeah. See, most of y'all are quiet, and let me tell you why.
Y'all should see me over here. I'm like,
let me tell you why most people, Lydia said, it depends on what it is. Choosing my battles, give it to God. Yeah. But shouldn't we call things out? Because sometimes silence is
agreement.
Yes.
When you silent about something, that can mean that you agree.
Your silence is agreement.
Yes.
I don't care how you say it. You may disagree with it, but your silence and your attendance will speak to will say they agree. And your silence and your attendance may be co-signing a lie that you know is a lie. And should you speak up and say, this is not right? And that's tough.
It is.
It's tough, but this is our inability to do so. I'm going to say this. Will prohibit us from becoming the persons that God has called us to be. Because becoming the person that God has called us to be, if you have not realized it in the last 2+ years, becoming the person that God has called you to be looks like Jesus. That's the person he has called you to be, a reflection of his son. And the most courageous person I know that called out mess was him. He comes on the scene and calls out Pharisees and Sadducees and teachers of the law, and everybody ostracized him. And so, Lydia, I hear you will say things like, give it to God. Whereas Jesus took personal responsibility to say, this is wrong and this is right. Yeah, some things you pray for.
And a lot of times I think we often say, oh, people got to be accountable. Mm-hmm. But you don't equate that people to you.
It's never us when we need to be accountable.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they got to be accountable.
Absolutely.
You too. Like, they got to own up to what they did.
Yeah.
You too.
You too.
Like, we all do. Like,
we all do.
Admitting you wrong or being accountable for something that wasn't, right. Owning up to your own crap is difficult for everybody. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy to be like, you know what, I was wrong, I messed up, I made a mistake, because that's the pride inside of us. But we all have to do that. All of us. They gotta be accountable, so do you. They gotta own up to what they did, so do you. It applies to everybody.
So do you.
And it's just like, if we can learn to live with that mindset, I think we all will just be better for it. And we would all be able to have more unity when it comes to things. Because everybody wants somebody to be accountable for something, but you're not accountable for what you did.
Absolutely.
So,
because at the core, we don't like confrontation. We are not, some of us, most of us don't prefer to be confrontational.
Right. But
again, I'm just, and y'all hear me say all the time, my WWJD. If you know, WWJD has been my slogan for the last 3 years. Yes. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And some of y'all be like, oh, well, that was Jesus. No, yeah, that was Jesus, but Jesus now lives in you. So what would Jesus do through you as you, right? Right? And he confronted error. He confronted an entire system, an entire legal system that was getting the people nowhere. And we don't do that because we don't want a confrontation. We don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to be talked about.
Yeah, we don't.
But our silence, gives life to negativity sometimes. And I'm grateful for the people that do stand up and speak truth to power. MLK, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Harriet, people that spoke up and let their voices be heard against systems that wanted to keep people down and keep people oppressed, they spoke up. And I think all of us, whether we want to or not, I think all of us has a responsibility to speak up when something is wrong. And we've got to pray that God give us courage to do so. Because at the end of the day, it's fear.
And
We're
then
scared
God
to
give
speak
us
up.
courage to do so in the words to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be,
Yeah.
you know, nasty confrontational.
Absolutely.
You know, you can do it in a way that is in love and, you know, and that kind of thing. But that requires you to pray,
Absolutely.
you know, ask God to give you courage and ask Him to give you the words to say
That's wisdom.
and how to say it.
That's wisdom.
And then that's what I think
That's
would be the positive factor out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to come out of it and it's like, you know, everybody angry, pissed off. No.
That's wisdom.
And because a lot of times we come and we approach things
That's good.
and we're on the defense and the offense in the conversation. You
Yeah.
got one that's on the defense and I'm on the offense and then vice versa.
Yeah.
But if we ask and we pray to God and ask Him for courage, how to say it, what to say,
Wisdom.
that will help.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
That's all I got.
Yeah, and I think that's all we got too. Super Tuesday. If you haven't voted, go out and vote. Hopefully something we said added value to you. Like again, work on your core values. Your core values keep you in line with becoming the person God intended for you to become. It helps ground you. It keeps boundaries around you. Your core values should come out of what God says in His Word, His Scriptures. Let that govern your life. All of it. And I think we'll be better because of it. We will see you guys next month.
Yes.
Yeah, in April. First week in April.
First week in April, y'all.
Last week in March. What's the exact date? Because we need to make sure that they hear this. March 26th. March 26th. The takeover.
Y'all better be on here.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all. If y'all don't be on here, I'm coming to y'all. Coming to your house.
We will see you guys Thursday for morning devotion, Sunday for the Sunday exchange, and I'm excited about what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next time, y'all. Y'all have a
Next time.
good night
Have a
and
good evening, guys.
take care. We love y'all.
Take care.
Bye.